What's up, YouTube? My name is Kage Jonas. What's up, YouTube? My name is Kage Jonas. What's up, YouTube? My name is Kage Jonas, and this is me 105 days on testosterone. So, something I wanted to talk about that was really bothering me. So I was reading a blog by someone, and it was pretty terrible. Let me just, first of all, state what was being talked about in this blog. So the person in question is a lesbian. Let me first do a disclaimer that I don't hate lesbians, whatever. Lesbians are cool, I'm cool with them, whatever. I'm not one, so it's fine. What was being talked about was that someone mentioned the topic about FTMs. So this person decided to write a blog about how the ladies' night at a local lesbian-owned bar was, and I quote, infiltrated by some FTM females. First of all, what is wrong with these phrases? First of all, FTMs are not female. The only thing female about us is that we were born that way. That's it. There's nothing else female about an FTM. Infiltrated? Really? Are we in a war? No, we are not in a war. There's no reason for that. Now, they stated that the ladies' night was infiltrated by these FTM females, and then go on to say that FTMs are traitors to the lesbian community because they don't identify as such. So does that mean that a cisgendered male is a traitor to the lesbian community because they don't identify as lesbian? Not all FTMs relate to lesbians, because not all FTMs were identifying as lesbians at some point in their life. That being said, it goes on in the article to say that the two FTM gentlemen in question, while they didn't do anything hostile in the club, were beaten by a group of lesbians. And then the person that wrote the blog again refers to them as females and gave a bravo to the lesbians in question that beat up the two men. This sickens me to no avail. The extent of my sickness right now is just monstrous. First of all, why would you condone violent acts on anyone, especially if they didn't even do anything to condone these acts? Just because, an FTM shows up at a bar is not a reason to beat someone up. If, every straight person, and I'm meaning the straight and narrow ones, not the straight not narrow ones, if every straight person in a straight bar condoned an act of, somebody being beaten up just because they're, a gay person, that would be ridiculous. But in this extent, it has nothing to do with sexuality. These were straight FTMs who were going because they like women. Not every woman in a lesbian-based establishment is going to necessarily be a lesbian. Just like not every person in a gay establishment is a gay person. Let's turn it around. That's just ridiculous. I don't know a single bar that I've ever been to that is FTM owned or MTF owned and only patronized by FTMs or MTFs. I don't know a single club that is only patronized by any one kind of person. I mean, yeah, there are some, black clubs that are black exclusively, or white clubs that are white exclusively. I don't know about them, whatever, but that's just ridiculous. That's like beating somebody up just because they happen to be black. You don't happen to be black, you are black. Or, you are Hispanic, you are Chinese. Whatever you are, you are. You can't help that. And it's the same thing with being an FTM. Gender is fluid, just like, sexuality, just like race, whatever. And race isn't even fluid. That's ridiculous. I make no sense when I said that. But either way, I don't understand why it's okay for someone that is part of and I'm using the term loosely, minority, would condone beating up another person that's a part of a minority. That's ridiculous. I just don't understand why that's okay. I mean, like Matthew Shepard, when he got killed. I know there were a lot of people that were like, oh yeah, the faggot got what he deserved. That's not even kosher with me. That's ridiculous. Like, just because someone went into an establishment to have fun, it's okay to beat them up? What the fuck is wrong with this world? I mean, I've heard more horror stories about people being beaten just because of their gender expression. It's just ridiculous. I mean, for instance, there's one bar in my area that, when it first opened, attempted to make itself a male-only club, and they wanted men to perform on their show nights, drag queens and men. Now, what I don't understand is, it's a male-only bar, and I mean, not only men go to see drag queens. That's a thought. Like, the most people I've seen really excited about seeing drag queens are straight women, because they don't get that kind of thrill. If you can call drag a thrill, to an outsider, it may be. To some of us, it's old hat, whatever. But, I just don't understand, why it's okay to beat people. So, that being said, this person goes on to, spout hatred about how these trans men are women, and how, they had no right being in that bar because, they were probably, ogling the women the way straight men do, and seeing them as objectified pieces of meat, and blah, 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 and it just went on and on and on. And I was like, really, you kind of got your point across that you're an ignorant person from the beginning of your blog. And, I was just appalled. Like, if I could have one goal in this life, it's to create a safe space for all trans people and allies to attend, to not feel ostracized. And I would not turn anyone away unless they were, being cruel. And if someday I do open that establishment, I hope that everyone comes at least once to experience the magnitude of what true, agape love, what true friendship, what true allies and community is. And on that note, like, if I were to enter an establishment, and it's a lesbian establishment, being that I'm a trans man or not, first of all, I'm not going to go into an all lesbian bar if I get the feeling I'm not welcome. But if there was a problem with these FTMs entering the bar in the first place, shouldn't the bouncer have kicked them out? Shouldn't someone who ID'd them have gotten them to leave? Been like, hey dude, sorry, all women, bye. Simple as that. I mean, there's a lot of places where it's not safe for trans individuals. Like, there are websites that, have chat rooms or forums, and they specifically state in the rules, MTFs are only welcome in here. FTMs are only welcome in here. Everyone else has free reign. And I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword, because it's kind of one of those, oh, well, it's safe for you guys here, it's not necessarily safe in other places. But there's more hatred in those places, where it is supposedly safe for us. So I guess my question is, who is allowing these people to, be cruel? And I guess the answer is everyone. And, it kind of harkens back to civil rights. It kind of harkens back to women's lib. It kind of sucks when you're a minority and there's nothing you can do about it. Some of the most accepting places are the places you don't expect. But I guess that it really boiled my blood to see, someone that should be highly supportive of someone else not being so. I don't know. Like, that's just red flags sent up all over the place. I don't know, guys. Tell me what you think.